most challenging one of all of them was Cap. This kind of guy out of time, and is it too retro? Are people going to get it? And with Evans and Johnston the first time around, it was like, yes, we get it, and you get it, and you like it.
Initially, I'm just trying to build a foundation of who this guy is, but you feel like you know the character now.
The first Captain America film is subtitled The First Avenger, because that's really what Cap is. Born out of the technology of the 1940s, frozen in ice, coming back into the present day. He then goes into the Avengers, and you realize, in a lot of ways, he's the moral backbone of the Avengers.
How do we do this?
As a team.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. Everybody's freaking out about Chris Evans' tweet saying goodbye to his character, Captain America, so I'll explain what's going on. But it's one of those Captain America memes, so you thought you could say goodbye and everyone wouldn't lose their shit. Yes, it confirms a couple things, but I think a couple people are taking his quote just a little too far. So no worries, it's New York Comic-Con week. There's a bunch of news going on like this. There's a new round of that Spider-Man PS4 game giveaway too. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a Captain America related comment on the video. His actual quote reads, "Officially wrapped on Avengers 4, it was an emotional day to say the least. Playing this role over the last 8 years has been an honor. To everyone in front of the camera, behind the camera, and in the audience, thank you for the memories. Eternally grateful." So even if you haven't been following the saga of Chris Evans' contract behind the scenes, this feels like a very final goodbye. Like he's taking his bow to the audience. Thank you everyone involved in the making of this character and bringing him to life. It's been an honor. Goodbye. We already know that a lot of the Phase 1 Avengers are going to be transitioning into the background during Phase 4. Some of them will get more movies and continue on just like normal. We know there's a Black Widow movie that they're making that's set in the past. We know Chris Hemsworth wants to do more Thor, given the right script, so he'll come back eventually. There are a couple characters that are on the fence. There's been talk of them doing a Hawkeye movie with a female version of Hawkeye, like doing a transitional where he passes the mantle to her from the Fraction run. Marvel just announced that they're doing a Loki project with Tom Hiddleston and a Scarlet Witch project with Elizabeth Olsen. So just remember, even though this seems like Captain America will not continue forward in the timeline, it might not be the last time that Chris Evans plays the character, because they do so many movies set in the past, and because of things like Iron Man's BARFing technology, where you look at your memories of a character, so even though they're not alive, they can be walking around on screen. I included that Spider-Man Homecoming meme. That's actually a really good example of new footage they shot with Chris Evans, but it wasn't actually Captain America walking around in present day with the Spider-Man character. It was new footage shot as stock footage that he had shot sometime after the first Avengers movie. So just because this is the end of Captain America forward in the timeline, it doesn't mean it's the absolute hard end of Captain America within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The next big thing is that what does that mean for his arc during Avengers 4? So if you haven't been catching up with the reshoots, the funny thing that Mark Ruffalo just revealed a little while ago is that when they did their principal photography, they didn't finish the movie. The Russos didn't know what their ending was, and they weren't quite sure what a lot of their big plot points were going to be. So they scheduled the reshoot so that they could make all those decisions, because you have to lock picture at a certain point so they can finish special effects and it becomes an actual movie. Because it sounded like they just had a bunch of big moments and a couple big action scenes, but no real narrative thread figured out. That's why the last couple of weeks you've been hearing different actors say they've wrapped on Avengers 4. So like Iron Man is still on set, Pepper Potts is still on set, but they filmed things out of order, so just because certain characters wrap before others doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's safe or everyone dies. I've said it a long time ago, I felt like Captain America was at the top of my death predictions just because Chris Evans is a character who's a soldier, he doesn't trade lives. That was one of the big quotes of Infinity War, and he is the first person to throw himself on a grenade. Like it goes all the way back to that first Avenger movie. There's a little more going on with Iron Man's arc because they set up the Pepper Potts teaser about the wedding and the baby he thinks that they're having, but they also set up the Captain America thread. He still hasn't made good with him. So Captain America's biggest arc, aside from just saving the universe in general, is in resolving the conflict with Iron Man. There was so much stuff going on in Infinity War, that's why they never met. They just saved that for Avengers 4. So that's when they come to terms. Like we've seen Captain America on set without the beard. Obviously some time has passed. The whole idea of the movie is that they come together and learn to be true heroes, a true team. Like that quote that Chris Evans had during that promo at the beginning where they're reflecting on the Captain America character. How do we do this? Together. So when Red Skull is telling Thanos that in order to wield the Soul Stone, you have to give up something that you love, Not necessarily the thing that you love in a romantic sense, because when people started thinking about how Iron Man might be able to use the gauntlet to save everyone, they thought, oh, does that mean that he'll have to sacrifice Pepper because he loves her most? They're getting ready to get married. The twist, I think, is that when they resolve that Captain America Iron Man arc, they'll love each other like brothers, and Captain America will throw himself on the grenade again and sacrifice himself so that Tony can wield the Soul Stone and bring everyone back that was turned to ash, meaning that Iron Man would survive, because there was a deleted scene where they went a little bit longer talking about the wedding, foreshadowing what was going to happen. I think that they'll end the movie with the wedding and a memorial for Captain America's character. So you do have kind of a downer, because it is sad that he would die, but you really end on a happy moment at the same time, so you kind of balance it out, because I don't think they want a downer ending, because you got the downer ending at the end of Infinity War. Oh God, what are we gonna do? Avengers 4 is meant to wrap up all the last 10 years of Marvel movies. They're not going to do that on a huge bummer. So not including the post-credit scenes, which I think will be some fun stuff. I think the wedding is like the actual final part of the film. If you want any more evidence that Chris Evans isn't coming back, though, Robert Downey Jr. in real life had a really special custom Captain America themed car made for Chris Evans. Now, he is very generous. He gives people gifts, but this is like a crazy expensive gift. And Jay Leno, when he was talking about it, learned that Robert Downey Jr. himself flew out to the place where they make these cars, made all these hand decisions, picked all the colors, the fabric, everything, was totally involved with the making of the car as if it was his own special personal project. Why would Robert Downey Jr. do that if it weren't meant to be a going away present? Like, this is it for you. You've had this amazing run. You're a great person. So we're going to honor it by giving you this Captain America car. It's actually a really badass car. Now, Iron Man, on the other hand, I think he is transitioning to a background role, but there are ways that you can keep Tony alive and still use him without needing him to be on screen all the time. Kevin Feige also has that quote where he says Captain America is like the moral center of the Avengers. You could say he's the soul of the Avengers, and Iron Man is the heart of the Avengers. So whereas Infinity War was all about Thanos' mission, his heart and soul, it's all about Iron Man and Captain America's heart and soul in Avengers 4. Them bridging that gap, coming together as a team, and then obviously teeing up what's going to be happening in Phase 4 with some of these new characters like Captain Marvel, Spider-Man stepping up in a big way. Spider-Man Far From Home is all about him being an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., pretty much, like him working with Nick Fury. His new black costume even has a S.H.I.E.L.D. symbol on it. I'll talk about that during a separate Spider-Man video, because it's actually pretty cool. But just to be clear, Chris Evans isn't leaving because he doesn't like making Marvel movies. I think he just feels like his character arc is up. He's a director. He wants to direct movies, and he can't do that when he's busy doing these. So he just has a lot of his own personal projects that he wants to spend his time developing. So let me know in the comments, how do you want them to say goodbye to Captain America during Avengers 4? It's New York Comic Con week. There's a whole bunch of Venom videos that I'm getting ready to post credits, Easter eggs, all that stuff. I'll name a new giveaway winner when I post new Marvel. Click here for my non-spoilery Venom review, and click here for that brand new Daredevil Season 3 Bullseye trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.